pDAI to $1, baby dolls. I am going to go through the uncoverings of all of this. I have a giant post made here uncovering the mystery. I am solving the mystery of pDAI, how we uncover it. There are two camps out here. Now, pDAI to $1, it's very inflammatory in the crypto ecosystem in PulseChain because pDAI is the forked stablecoin copy of Ethereum eDAI, and it's from a system state. And a lot of people have shown how this thing gets to $1. I'm going to go through the facts though, okay? We're going to go through this. So, first thing, before you even start, friends, is I'm bullish. Okay, before we even go through anything, I am bullish. I don't know where the price is going to be. I hope it lands up at $1, like a real purchasing power dollar. I hope so. All I'm telling you is I've been long for 12 months, friends. I made my videos here. Actually, let's go through the full chart just so I can show you. This is the pDAI to pulse ratio, okay? So let's actually go through. I made my posts somewhere here, okay? Now, the first thing you got to remember, why did I think pDAI was a scam? It's because as it went up, the supply was going up. So I naturally said, well, how is the supply of a stablecoin going up? There's someone's got an infinite mint function. Okay, so you gotta understand, man, it's a labyrinth of all this stuff. You know what I mean? Friends, you know how many times someone comes up to me like, hey, there's this 15,000 cross paths to say that this guy stole money or that this guy's moving money out here, and they get one thing wrong. I remember Mr. Handsome Finance made a like 60-minute video on Crashius Clay for Brett. He thought Crashius was dumping the whole time. Literally 60 minutes, the whole video. And then like step 27 out of 400, he ended up just getting the transaction direction wrong. And then he said this one guy was Crash's wallet, but it was actually someone else. You see what I mean? So it's tough, man. Crypto's tough. But here's the thing, okay. When I started covering it, okay, it goes up, I think it was around here actually. Here we go. I called it a scam here. It's kind of funny. It goes up 18x and comes back down to round trips. Okay, I get in. I make my videos here. It goes up another 21x against PLS. Now, this chart, what I'm telling you, this is the most important, friends. This is not mistake, okay? This is no mistake. This is not my accident. There are strong believers in here. Something is going on in the background. Now, a lot of people, when I change it to the USD chart, this is where their minds flip because I have the pegging $1 here, and a lot of people are like, hey, this can't happen. It can't go. It can't do this. What's going on here, right? So this chart is also strong, but it blows your mind because you're like, well, how can this kind of unbacked type of stablecoin thing, how can it go anywhere? Well, Luna UST is also unbacked and it's up here. And if we flip Luna UST, it's still a healthy 6x from here. And if you go to their high of last year, it's a 24x from here. So from where I made my video, if you go to flip Luna UST price, man, that's a 191x, okay? So the most important part's the ratio. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to play some pump music before we get into the weeds of it. As you can see, friends, the ratio chart. So please confirm for me, friends. Please confirm, friends. This is the most important chart because if this chart is trending over time, okay, and one day pDAI to pulse ratio does, let's say one day the chart is like up here, okay, that's a 5x on pulse. If pulse does 50x, then this thing does 50 times 5, 250. You've actually got near a peg. You've got near a $1, okay? But this thing, it's not actually about what we're talking today because all I'm telling you is that's the most important part. I'm bullish. Bullish, 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 still holding. Now, pDAI, friends, is strong and something is definitely happening, which I'm going to elaborate. But it's most likely Richard Hart is finding a way to wash money with some game incentives planned. So you want the whole nutshell? What I've discovered is the people who are yelling pDAI, a lot of the work, thank you to DecentralizeMe, pDAI to $1, all you other guys. You guys have spent so much time asking, like, if this is possible. If it's possible for him to do these things. When the question you should be asking is not if it's possible, but why would he do such a thing? Okay, now, if you ask why he will do such a thing, most people who are anti-pDAI would say he's not going to enrich plebs. Okay, what if he enriches himself? What if he washes money for himself? What if there's a way to you kind of like maybe front run this process, what we're looking at right now? So that's where a lot of people lose it, okay? So there are people who are going, oh, Richard's going to make me rich. That's the one maxi camp. And then the other camp is, No, he would never give money out away. So what I'm trying to do is just go right in the middle. And I'm trying to figure out how this actually might work. So whatever the reason is, friends, pDAI is strong. Okay, you see from this chart, pDAI is strong. Anything, honestly, remember, I bought a year ago. I didn't do any of these labyrinth stuff. I was like, oh, this guy's saying $1. This guy's saying whatever. I go, bro, $1's like 900x away. So even if I get a 10 banger from here, I might be happy. Now it's gone up more than 10. But I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Like it's like if one guy's saying $5 million Bitcoin, the other guy's saying $100 million Bitcoin. You're like, it's like 69,000 now. So that'll be nice if it just goes up to like 1 million. Yeah. Now, if we get rich, it's not going to be because of this magical price oracle thing, which I'm going to explain to you. It's probably because of pulse rising and adoption and providing liquidity in the right circumstances. Okay, friends. So I'm going to show you now the PulseChain logo. It's nice, glistening, fun. Okay, I'm just going to go through. So it's my interpretation, a lot of labyrinth of everything. So let's start. We don't have all the missing pieces, okay? And it could be because Richard Hart's game theory experiments in 2023 did not play out, so they need adjusting, okay? So we don't have all the missing pieces. So that's why this thing is inconclusive. So one, he is doing something. There are stuff occurring, okay? He is 100% doing it. That's confirmed. Yeah, he's doing something, okay? But it's inconclusive as in there are missing links at the end, which I'm going to get through. And it's linking the pDAI to the real assets, which we'll get through, as it is in every of these cases, by the way. As you know, friends, Richard Hart did game theory experiments with 2023 stuff on PulseX. And this is what basically happened, okay? So this is the PulseX yield farms, and what actually was occurring was, he was adding these yield farms up here, all right? He was putting different ones here. So there are a few unique ones that appeared, exotic ones. You had like Peppy, P-Peppy, the PWBTC, so that wrapped Bitcoin, the forked wrapped Bitcoin. He tried a couple things. Now, from 2021, the game theory, because remember, back in 2021, DeFi was just invented. It looked like a cheat code, okay? Back in 2020, DeFi, Uniswap was out. You had Aave, all these other oracles, all these other liquidity yield farming incentive programs, and it was seen as the most amazing bee's knees, amazing thing ever, because you could hand out a token and get people to act. You're giving them a carrot on a stick, okay? And everyone was hungry for yield. They would rush in to do that, okay? So you could almost like manipulate people to where you want to do. Things have changed now, though, okay? Things have changed. Those cohort of people got so destroyed because they realized they are the yield. They realized the yield is not, it's not sustainable. And in a bear market, everything goes to zero anyway. Okay, so now, what people are upset about is now we have like meme coins. Okay, meme coins, friends. Like everybody's getting mogged. Meme coins. People have realized, oh, meme coins are the yield. I'm just here for a short time anyway, and we're all going to zero anyway. I'm not going to sit in something for like 15 months and try to earn 20% because that's a lying number. People know that now. They throw it into meme coins. Okay, so this is where we continue. So even though, friends, all these things have happened and there might be some game incentives, mechanics required for pDAI, I think it's silly to exit right now. You can do whatever you want with your money, not financial advice, but I think you're a retardio if you exit now because I don't think Richard Hart is the type of guy where he like something like doesn't work out and then he just stops. I don't think he's that guy. I think he's really good at figuring out plans for the next step, okay? So you know what pDAI is, right? Remember, friends, the ticker is DAI on Stablecoin, DAI. It's not the actual pDAI. That's a scam one. So there are pro-DAI people and then anti-pDAI people, right? They're both competitive. Here are the facts, you know? Like I said, the chart is strong, but also the anti-pDAI people are right because you can't make money out of thin air. You can't. There is limited liquidity. So you can make your own money printer. Richard Hart made his own money printer with PulseX, HEX, and in terms of like, hey, I can mint these tokens, but you don't have Jay Powell's money printer. You can't mint the assets out there that can get exchanged for purchasing power of real world items. So if we go through some conclusions, yes, Richard Hart is definitely doing a pDAI magic trick and it is confirmed, but we don't know all the key pieces yet. So this is where we're basically going to just go into the weeds a bit. So there's the MakerDAO Vault. Okay, there's a MakerDAO Vault on, and I have the Maker ETH chart. So it's such a great system, but the thing is down freaking after 8 years, friends, it's down 81% against Ethereum. Okay, so it's just shocking. So there is a vault, okay? There is a vault here, the MakerDAO vault. Now, this vault, the code for it, there's a specific line of code, which is very important, okay? The code says, if the vault coins that you can put in a vault, like a safe, if the coins in it are over collateralized, then this pDAI thing is $1. Okay, it's literally a line of code. It says, okay, if you put in like a certain amount of dollars, like, you know, it's over collateralized by 150% as well. So if you put in $100, then there's, it's successfully going to confirm that, yes, pDAI is $1, pretty much. And I think you can mint or whatever it is available. There's like $30 worth there because that's like 150%, whatever the number is. Okay, so it's a simple line of code. It's self-referential. Okay, so it's a system saying, oh, you've put money in from somewhere. This thing's worth $1. Okay, so we have to just agree on that. Now, the origin address. So remember, we have the vault, friends. We'll come back to the vault here. This is the vault, V for vault. The origin address, which is over here. Okay, they can put Pulse, PulseX, and HEX tokens in there. And now what I've done is I've actually just put these logos out here. So look at this. So this origin address has now placed these coins in here, and a lot of them. Remember, the origin address owns a lot of the coins. So this is where a lot of people did the arguments about what's happening. They're like, oh, does it have enough money? Can it do that? Yes, it's yes to everything. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. The technicals of all that is fine. But you got to think about the why that's happening. So the money that gets put in, trust me, there's enough money to get put in. There's $17 billion worth of the OA right now. If the core coins go up just another 2x, it can put enough money to basically accommodate for the pDAI in the system, all right? Being $1. But, important, you are looking at this little self-referential system saying, oh, this thing's $1 now. There's this oracle here because we've backed it. We've backed it with enough money today, okay, and so it's worth $1, okay? Very important. This is where it gets a bit sticky because, let's read this. There is a difference between USDT to USDC, okay? But it's a very small difference. So Tether to USDC, yeah, one's Tether's balance sheet and the other's Circle's balance sheet, okay? But they're very similar, all right? But they both say $1 price, okay, when you look at them. So I'll show you right now. So Tether, right? Tether's like $1 here and USDC $1. You see that pretty much? They're about $1. You go, oh yeah, they're the same. But okay, now this is where the mental gymnastics comes. But now, if you have pDAI in this self-referential system saying it's $1, and now if you're going to say, hey, that's $1 and eDAI's $1, you're saying two different things. Even though the counter, the dollar figure, mathematically will say $1. You know they're different. And I'm going to get through that as well. It's because of what's in the vault. That's the whole thing. So the system that activates the vault, okay, you don't have what's on Ethereum now. You don't have the Ethereum and the Circle and the whatever it is in there, the USDC and stuff in there that's in there, okay? You have the own origin address coins that you've minted. That's what, according to the market, right? Oh, you minted these tokens. Pulse, PulseX, HEX. Origin address gave itself the tokens. Okay, so you're only as good as what backs you in there. Okay, but obviously, friends, this is a Richard Hart game mechanic puzzle labyrinth. So you know he's thought about this part next as well. So it's important to know. Now this means pDAI. Okay, so pDAI up here. Yes. pDAI $1 price oracle is actually backed by the bids that are on PulseChain core coins. And luckily for you, we are confirming friendship. These are the liquidity up here. You see this? So the bid is like, divide these by 2. Now, I don't know what here's the thing, friends. A lot of people look, a lot of these liquidity, they're re-hypothecated. Okay, so when we're seeing Pulse and PulseX and HEX, okay, you're adding all these up. You go, oh, an ink, that's adding up a lot of liquidity. No. All of that is only backed by the stuff you can take out and bridge out and sell. That's what's actually really backed by. So it's actually backed by the wrapped Ethereum, okay, and the stable coins, EUSDC or whatever, the stable coins, the real ones, the EUSDC, EUSDT, Okay, that's what's actually backing the whole chain. So if you remove them, there's nothing to hold up the bids. Because if someone had all the tokens, like if I just gave you all the tokens of the Richard Heart ecosystems, what would you go do? Okay, you wouldn't. So if I gave you all the HEX and all the PulseX, you wouldn't swap them for all the Yink. Okay, if I gave them all the tokens, they're like, oh sweet, I can extract like $50 million or whatever's on the bid and I can walk out of here. That's actually what you can extract. You dump all these tokens, grab the bid, run away, and go do purchasing power stuff in the real world, okay? But, so that's what you'll do. And that's why the bid is what ultimately backs everything. And by the way, this is why in crypto, when Ethereum goes down, everything is like liquidity paired to ETH. Because everyone thinks they have a lot of liquidity. No, they're all crossed with each other. That's what we call like the Re-hypothecation stuff. It's all like linked together. So you don't actually have, that's why, friends, the whole crypto industry, it's linked by like 100 billion. Like if you want to know like what holds up the whole crypto industry, look at the Tether market cap. Okay, this is the Tether market cap, by the way, 120 billion. You add this up and USDC, 170 billion. So yeah, you might be scared thinking, wait a minute, you're telling me a 2.5 trillion industry is only backed by oh my gosh, it's only backed by 150 billion with a B. So 2 trillion with a T is backed by 150 billion? Yes. But you got to think about why. Because it's a better system. People are happy to hold their Bitcoin and not sell because they know that there's more money going to come in from the future. They don't want to sell out and go back to the other system, okay? So that's why a lot of people in crypto, they don't get it. But yes, that thin bid, it backs the system. But that's why it's hyper volatile on the way down when there's a liquidity event. But people are gaining their confidence over time. So now you pretty much get to see, right? If the core coins drop too hard, it auto implodes, okay? Because we just concluded, okay, if you go through this, you're like, okay, your money here backing this, if these things all drop too hard, the whole thing implodes because now your pDAI is not $1 anymore, right? Even though this Oracle said it is. So that's why I'm saying, well, Richard Heart, genius, is not Do Kwon, the Terra Luna guy. I'm sure he's carefully aware of who has the pDAI. He probably owns a lot of the pDAI. He collected a lot of it, okay? He owns a lot of it. He has collected it. Maybe multiple wallets. They're all anonymous, okay? And you got to understand something too. Let's look at Terra Luna, friends. Why did Terra Luna fail? So Terra Luna, so here is Luna UST, okay? What I'm going to do is show you the market cap, okay? Look at this. At the top, it was worth $18 billion with a B, all right? But they had 40,000 Bitcoin only. So if you do 40,000 Bitcoin times the $40,000 price, so when the thing was collapsing, the UST, right? So this is the stablecoin, yes? The market cap, yeah? It started collapsing, friends. Started collapsing and it started going down. This is Luna UST. You can actually look at the price, right? As it starts collapsing, Do Kwon tries to save it. Okay, he tries to save it. There's some like big wicks. He tries to send it all the way back. I'll actually show you. It's right here. Okay, look at this. By the way, talk about the highest value content in crypto, friends. I spot a friend in you. Okay, so let's continue. This is what happened. It went all the way down. It went down like 30 cents. And he tried to resurrect it. Okay, I'm sure this was him. So what happened is he basically minted. He got all the Bitcoin. He's like, that's it. I'm just going to throw all the Bitcoin. I'm going to smash it all the way up. So he was able to send them back from 30 cents up to like 80. And the market went down. It was all over. It was literally all over. So that was a horrific show. So it went down, up, came back down. So it went from 30 cents back to 80. Now, as you can see, why? Because it was a 16 billion market cap coin, but you're only backing it with 1.6 billion with a B. So it was unbacked. That's why we call it an unbacked stablecoin. So that's why the Terra Luna peg, it was an algorithmic stablecoin because it was just meant to like be worth $1, but it couldn't support the bid. So as it went down as well, they were only emergency trying to print the Luna UST bid. So that's how they could get it. They're like, okay, we can back this by the bid and this other thing that's re-hypothecation as well. That the algo that doesn't work, okay? So we learned that lesson. So now we got something different, right? Now what I'm going to do is play some angel music. Here comes Richard Heart's 170,000 ETH. So this is where things are different. This is why it's not the Do Kwon thing. The Ethereum sacrifice treasury has 170,000 ETH. So it could be vital. Okay, remember friends, you don't know exactly how it's going to work, but it could be vital because that's different, yeah? So many pDAI believers, okay, they are, obviously we're pDAI believers, we love it, but a lot of them will, they incorrectly assume the next part. So they go, okay, if the origin address moves their coins in, remember friends, we have the vault here. Remember, you just have a vault. If the origin address now has a vault, this thing's now $1. They think they wake up the next day and their portfolio says 100x higher. They think that. And they go, oh, I'm rich. They think I'm rich. And then when I always ask them, okay, what do you do next? They can't walk me through the next part. I go, okay, you sell your tokens. Sell your tokens for what? Okay, and then you bridge out. You go buy a house. Okay, but you have to get the liquidity first in the system. Where do you get it from? There's only a limited number of eDAI. You don't have the eDAI money printer. You don't have the real money printer from the real world. So what do you do? And that's where it kind of falls short. Okay, so here's the thing: if the coins get dumped, okay, people always say the origin address can keep adding more collateral to the vault to stabilize it. Okay, and they can keep buying the PulseChain core coins. But this is self-referential. Okay, so they're missing a step here. So this part, it doesn't make you wealthy. So just because an oracle here says this thing is $1, it doesn't actually just mean, oh, yeah, there's 100 extra. Well, you know that. You're like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But why? Because you did not create real liquidity in the bid. So you did not make more eDAI. You did not make more wrapped Ethereum. You did not make more wrapped Bitcoin, which can be exchanged for real money out there. You didn't make any of them? Okay, so you have a system that says this thing's $1 though. Okay, so let's continue. And now I'm going to use a HEX example. Okay, so in this system, so shout out to Mr. DecentralizeMe, friends. He's got a great video here. And if you go through, he explains all the vaults. But there's this part here at the end where it's always the 95% is fine. It's at the very end. And he basically says, oh, you can basically he can keep pumping his own bags here using his own DAI. So see these arrows up going up. He's like, okay, he can keep using his DAI to pump up his own bags and then mint more DAI and then pump his own bags and do this self-referential thing. But no. If this OA does a pump, there are now two prices, okay? Let's say they use HEX, for example. HEX is 1 cent. Let's say it pumped it up 100x using the pDAI. There are two pools now, okay? HEX pDAI says it's $1. HEX eDAI says it's 1 cent, okay? But that's not really equating, is it? Because if you were around in 2022, there was a Bitcoin to Luna USD price, and then there was a Bitcoin to Tether price, okay? Just because the system said that they're both like $40,000, they're not actually really true. If you had all of the USD, if you tried to move into the Tether, you run out of the bid and you fall out. So you can't actually do it. But in those moments of time, yes, I mean, like, how long can you keep it going? They are worth that much, but they're not actually one for one. So this is where pretty much, it's where everyone, if you want to know, why does everybody argue? It's that point right there. Because they're saying, but then it's $1, then it's $1. No. There's two things. They're both saying it's $1. They ain't really $1. Like, yeah, you can get your screen. See, the portfolio screenshot, yes, your portfolio says it's up. Okay, but now the next part is the most critical of all. So realistically, if HEX, friends, if I actually give the chart here, okay, you have, remember, let's do this quote here. You have HEX in here. You have a HEX pDAI and HEX eDAI, okay? The HEX pDAI thing, you say you are $1, okay? You actually say HEX, you're $1, and this one is 1 cent, okay? If HEX pDAI is $1, what happens is people dump it. They dump HEX for the pDAI, but then what are they going to do after that? Okay, not all of them are going to stay. Now they want to hunt for someone who's going to give them money for their pDAI out there, outside of the system. Where are they going to get? Where are they going to get somebody to give them $1 for a pDAI over there? So that's where the next part comes in, friends. That's why I'm just showing you how these things are probably going to play out. So there's limited liquidity. Who's going to give you $1 for your pDAI? Okay, yeah, you have it in this system, but what are you going to do now? Let's go. So there could be a missing link out here. That's why there is missing pieces. One of them could be a PulseX stablecoin swap. Okay, so if you remember now, I've got a picture down at the bottom. Remember, Richard added an update to PulseX. So you have stablecoin swapping. You see on the left, so you can basically, it's from Curve, friends. Curve Dex, they allow you to mix and morph all the stablecoins, okay? And you can earn field. So you can mix Tether, as you can see, look at this. You can mix Tether, you can mix USDC, you can mix DAI over here. And what I did was, I just did an imaginary update. I go, okay, after the Oracle says pDAI, look what Richard's done. Hey, you have a pDAI with PUS, with EUSD, with eDAI. So actually what's happening is, this is like, okay, this obviously hasn't happened. That's why I'm just guessing, okay? What I'm guessing is the incentive is to add these farms that melt, if you will, the pDAI to the other things because they're all $1. But you know deep down, you go, wait a minute, this thing is backed by a bid that might be backed by the dollar. And you know, Richard's really smart, and yes, everything's going to go great, I'm sure. I'm just telling you, theoretically, it's like if Luna, by the way, there were Luna UST farms. Luna UST to Tether and all these. So what happened during the depegging is everybody was dumping the UST and just grabbing the stablecoins out so they could run and escape. So that's why I postulated, you know, what if he puts a possibility, we'll read this line together. There is also a possibility of an eDAI to pDAI yield farm on PulseX as well when the Oracle price says $1. So that's another possibility. So it would be like one of the things here. Okay, so if there's an eDAI to pDAI yield farm somewhere here. But you got to pay people enough yield to do it. But then it's, you know, like I said, Vince, a lot of people, they're a bit shell-shocked by it. They're a bit shocked by it, like, in terms of, would that be the strategy? Yeah, man. But like, you got to remember, the market changed to meme coins now. It seems obvious in hindsight, but back in 2021, when all these things was like being worked out, DeFi was like a cheat code. There was no yield in the world. You get it? No yield. Everybody wanted yield. DeFi was always getting all these farms. There were hundreds of millions of dollars being thrown around and stuff. Now people are like, screw the DeFi yield. I'm the yield. They're like, I'm the exit liquidity for the yield. So that's why these things don't have product market fit as much as they used to. But like I said, I wouldn't bet against Richard because he'll probably figure out another way to do it, you know? By the way, the PulseX Buy-and-Burn, indirectly, I'll just almost spoil it for you. If meme coins are going to be a thing, then everybody trading meme coins, the PulseX Buy-and-Burn is dragging up Pulse, which is dragging up pDAI over time. You see what I mean? And that could be a contributing factor. You're basically taxing all the traders, and that's helping the liquidity to move this stuff in over time. Just give you an example. So I've also mentioned here, Richard Hart could press a lot of other buttons to try and get liquidity in to melt pDAI to the other coins. So obviously, look, I don't have all the key pieces of the puzzle. Yeah, there could be something else going on, but do you want to know? That's why everyone argues. Everyone argues because they say, well, who's going to give you the eDAI? Who's going to give you that liquidity? Well, maybe throw some tricks in the game, man. Maybe he does. So we have to discuss those extra factors I literally just mentioned, that PulseX Buy-and-Burn. So it's bonded as well. Remember, PulseX, through those liquidity farms I just showed you, okay, PulseX here, it's bonded with PulseX bonded to Inc., and then PulseX is bonded to Pulse, and then Pulse is bonded to PHEX, okay? So they're all bonded together. So PulseX has that buy-and-burn happening in the background. However, we still needed a lot of trading activity and adoption over time. Now, this is where a lot of these Labyrinth, the pDAI videos and stuff you watch, there's like a long convoluted thing, like 48 minutes of like, you know, step one and this and the collateral and all these. But honestly, you don't even need to know them, friends. But I just give you the absolute biggest summary. There's 22.8 billion pDAI. So if that was $1, it's $22.8 billion. Okay, it needs 150% collateral, 34 billion in the vaults. The OA has 17 billion right now. So if the core coins do a 2x, he can basically put it in and do it. This is the split of the pDAI. 5 billion circulation, 5 billion in forked eDAI, 12 billion to Richard Hart. So he has most of it as well. So I've just shown you, like, you can get pretty much this to work. Okay, you can get this to work. But remember, it's a self-referential Oracle system. And also, once again, shout out to Mr. DecentralizeMe and everyone else for doing all these presentation slides out here. So, but in his video right at the end, I said, so Mr. DecentralizeMe, the very end, friends, I watch all of these and I get to the end, I'm like, okay, you still haven't explained to me, Habib, how do you make more eDAI? Where do people get to take the liquidity and then go buy real world asset stuff. Okay, but maybe the plan, that's the thing, friend. It's a magic trick. Why is it a magic trick? Because the plan is to get you to not bridge out. Okay, so it's $1 within the system. It's like you're not meant to leave the system. Is Richard really, really forward thinking with that? Probably. He's like, why would you ever want to bridge out? You see, so it is something to think about. But that's why you want to know, why does he just peg it to $1 today? That's why, okay? Because there's not enough liquidity anyway, and the whole system pretty much doesn't work. So, look, Mr. DecentralizeMe, quote, if people dump all the core coins, then Richard Hart can use the origin address to buy the coins using pDAI as it says $1. So basically, it's like saying if the core coins got dumped, the origin address has this pDAI, which they've just got a poop load of, and then they can use that to just keep buying it. Oh, we can keep buying it because it keeps saying it's $1. No, but this is the self-referential thing, because here's the thing. That's why they get confused with all these presentation slides. They go, oh yeah, he can just keep buying it up. Like I said, this is like equating the Bitcoin UST to the Bitcoin USDT. That's what it is. So if Do Kwon got UST and kept buying up Bitcoin on that price chart, yeah, he could make the Bitcoin UST Luna price chart say $40,000. Okay, he could make it say that theoretically, right, before it implodes. Yeah, but when it was like still working. But there was a difference between the Bitcoin UST Luna price and the Bitcoin USDT price. They blew up, okay, because it was obviously unbacked. So yeah, theoretically you can say, oh, they're $1, everything's just $1. Yeah, but there's something beneath the surface that makes it not so. So right, you can't transfer the money across because it would destroy the bid of the Luna part as they moved in. This is exactly what happened, right? So Luna had 16 billion market cap, like I mentioned. It only had about $1 billion back in it. So the $1 billion back in it dropped. He inserted the 40,000 BTC. Now he's putting in 1.6 billion. It still dropped again. Okay, so there you go. So $16 billion of everyone's money, but you only had like $2.5 to $3.5 billion to back it up. And then the Luna UST bid, maybe another 500 million, maybe another billion. It doesn't matter. Maybe you only had like 25% total of the backing. And by the way, you sacrificed Luna, the price to $0. So this is where I'm glad we're able to like fleet this. I go, oh, okay, yeah. They say they're $1, but then they're not. The price tags are the same, but it's not really. So here's the thing, friends. Let's do a similar thought experiment. So what I always do is, okay, I'm going to get my fancy gun because we're still shooting out the bears. Still bullish, friends, still bullish. I always do these thought experiments in the real world to see if what we're doing is consistent. So imagine you are Jay Powell from the US Fed. And what I'm going to do now is we're going to go to Ethereum. So you're Jay Powell, and I've got the pictures here for you. That's why you like to subscribe, friends. Here you are, Jerome Powell, and you have money printer. You have USDC, okay? What you've gone and done is you mint 1 trillion USDC. You can actually go and do that, okay? So you're Jay Powell. You mint 1 trillion USDC. You put it on Ethereum. Now you have the Ethereum part. What he can do is, okay, he goes to MakerDAO. Okay, so here he is with here. Then he goes to the MakerDAO on Ethereum. He puts in the USDC 1 trillion. Okay, remember, he can now take out something like 300 billion eDAI. Okay, and that's why I have the eDAI logo here. Now he can take 300 billion eDAI. Remember, it's got to be over collateralized. Okay, so remember, this guy minted tokens. He can now get 300 billion eDAI. So the Maker system allowed him to mint it. Wow, you minted the eDAI. What does he go do next? Well, imagine Jerome Powell, he goes and pumps our bags up. He buys HEX. Let's say he literally goes and buys HEX to $4,000, okay? He buys HEX to $4,000. So you wake up one day and you're like, oh my gosh, okay, there is a $4,000 HEX price. Let me sell. So you sell everything. Everyone sells everything. What they would be doing is, what I mean selling, they would be selling their HEX to take out the eDAI from the pool. So the eDAI said to be a $4,000 HEX. Remember, he puts the eDAI in the pool. You've got the HEX here. This is you, okay? You put your HEX into the pool and you take the $300 billion of eDAI, okay? Now you have eDAI in your hands. You're like, oh, eDAI. Now here's the thing. the oracle of Maker says eDAI is $1. You're like, oh, sweet, I have $300 billion. Until everyone tries to cash it out. What would they go do? Okay, now everybody with the eDAI has to then go to pretty much Curve. Okay, their Curve. And liquidity pools out there in Ethereum. And they have to quickly dump the eDAI and get the other stable coins to redeem it to a bank account. Okay, so that's what they will do. So they'll actually get USDC. Okay, but he minted more. They might get like Tether now at this point. So I've got the Tether logo here. Okay, so even though, remember, this is the exact same thing. Okay, it's the exact same thing. So remember, Jay Powell's the money printer. He minted all these USDC. Okay, Richard Hart's the money printer. He has all these PulseX, and HEX, the origin address. Okay, they put it into a vault. There's an oracle that says, oh, this thing's $1. It's over collateralized. Okay, but if you went and did what everyone's saying is, okay, now you go pump the bags. Somebody out there is the sucker. Who's the sucker, friends? I'll show you. Let me show you all the suckers, okay? And they're everybody sitting in the stablecoin pools, okay? These are sitting ducks, pretty much, okay? Because look, see, remember, you just got all this eDAI. Look at this. There's a USDE eDAI platform pool. You see that? Oh, there's a 3 pool here. Look how much TVL there is, friends. $158 million. So, do you see how this is DAI, USDC, USDT? Well, you have your DAI, you throw it in. This is what actually people did, by the way, when there was a USDC depegging, okay, in Feb of 2023. People put in their coin here, the USDC, and they grabbed the DAI. But this is when Richard bought the other side, right? But remember, in this example, Jay Powell minted all the USDC, and he went and pumped it. So, as you can see now, the liquidity pools are sitting ducks, okay, because they're the ones that are just sitting there out in the open market. You can go grab that. You go dump the poop and you go take it out. Now, obviously, because Jay Powell minted USDC, technically, you call up Circle and you go, hey, give me 300 billion into my bank account. You know what I mean? But I'm just assuming you can't do that with the PulseChain core coins. And in a nutshell, friends, this is what we call like a traditional bank run. You know, so like just so you follow the train thought, if the OA pumped all the coins, yes, so they pump all the coins. Remember, the OA gets the pDAI, it puts it into the pools, and then like let's say your pulse goes to like $1. One pulse is $1. No, but that's $1 of pDAI, priced in pDAI. So you dump your pulse, grab the pDAI, but then you've got to grab the pDAI. You've got to find all the other pools to throw it out to. Who's going to give you money for your pDAI? There are no pools right now. So the only money available for your pDAI, it's a natural speculation process of the first chart I showed you, right? The only money you have like is in here. Okay. So what I'm gonna do now, friends, we'll play some nice music for everyone. So every road you take, you come to the same conclusion. Money can't be printed out of thin air. You know, there's ratio swappings and moving stuff. It's moving money around. You can't actually make it out of thin air. Duh. Now, this is the next part, right? You can try to do something like a magician would do. So Richard could try to get people to bond the real money with the pDAI. He can try to do that, okay? Like I said to you, in the PulseX stablecoin swap, incentive tokens, liquidity pairings, there's a buy-and-burn with PulseX. It can do a lot of things, okay? However, if it breaks, it's all over. But, you know, I'm sure, look, Richard wouldn't do this unless he was sure of the way to work it out. So he probably owns a lot of the pDAI. Because if you want to wonder, like, how come people don't believe this thing can ever work? It's because people generally thought there are people out here with $20 billion of pDAI for themselves, and they're just waiting. Okay, he pegs it at $1. They thought he was going to put the sacrifice money in a pool. This is what everyone thought it was going to be sacrifice money in a pool, and then someone with pDAI dumps it and just walks out. Okay. So that's why I postulated as well. Maybe it's got something to do with Ethereum hitting $20,000. That would give the sacrifice fund like 3.6 billion in here. Okay, and that's why it doesn't, like I said, friends, it's not about like the people figuring out, is this possible for him to do this? Yes. Okay, we're way beyond that. Now the next question is, why would you want to do this? Why? Maybe you got a lot of pDAI you want to wash. Maybe you got a lot of money you want to wash. Maybe the anonymous money out here. That's what it is. Okay, maybe just that's what you're starting to look through it. Maybe there's a way for also another. Maybe there's a way for the Ethereum money to get it pumps the ecosystem in a way that he can cleanly take 1/3 out as his payment. Okay, for doing all of this, and then the rest is for the community. It could be that. I'm being completely honest. It could be that. Like, I always had it in my mind, there's 170,000 Ethereum. I always had it, he's going to get 60,000 for himself. I just didn't know how. That's it. I always had in my mind, okay, he's going to take 60,000 for himself. Now, I could be wrong. I don't know. I'm just speculating. Okay, I'm just thinking that. I'm just thinking that into my mind. Okay, how does he take 60,000? Does he just leave limit orders, and then he just buys it up with the other accounts? So he pays himself, and then everyone else is like basically, you know, wild, wild west out here. Does he do that? Or there's a decentralized stablecoin out here. You see what I mean? So if you try to figure out that part, it doesn't. You miss the big picture. The big picture is you can like basically front run it. So in a nutshell, yes, this picture, the chart is very bullish, and I've got some nice summaries here for you. Okay, so there is a natural process of cycle rinsing and speculators who are holding pDAI to treat it like $1. Richard Hart wants to do this because he does not want people only to buy this to ruin the stablecoin pools in the future, e.g. to sell their pDAI for other stablecoins like eDAI. So that's why a lot of people say, why doesn't he just tell us now? And now you get to see the answer. Because if you owned a lot of pDAI yourself and you accumulated a lot, when it's a dollar peg, and from the Oracle says it's a peg, and he's trying his game theories of eDAI, pDAI pools, or pDAI to PulseX, and all these other like incentive tokens up. If there's that all there, he doesn't want you who bought 500 million pDAI to go to these farms and just go dump, 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 all for me, because you would be ruining the game. This is just my guess. Because the whole game is to get everyone in crypto to bridge in their money and link it up and do the pair bonding and the trading between that. So that's my speculation as to why. So if he doesn't tell people that, now it's just up to the core believers. And these core believers are going to hold it to $1. They're basically not going to ruin the party. You'd hope. Okay, this is just obviously it could be missing some key piece of info, but whatever. Okay, we have to guess, so this is it. Number 2, right? There are more farms and incentives coming in the future which will try to melt pDAI into the other stablecoins. This is possibly how the money gets washed and it lives on a decentralized chain. So I don't know when are they going to come. Remember, fancy Richard Hart last year, Richard did get frustrated because the PPEPI stuff, the PWBTC, the market had no product market fit for this DeFi stuff. It just didn't. It's not even popular on all these other chains. It's just not. Maybe it changes next year. Maybe you need Ethereum at $10,000. Maybe. Right now, they're just minting shit coins out of the yin yang. We got, like, you know what I mean? Like, you feel more about MOG than, like, hey, come and join this yield farm and earn, like, yams for 20% yield. You don't care about that anymore. You know how they all end, okay? So that could have been part of his frustration where he's like, oh, damn, like, I've tried 3 things. Now I've got to try something else. So we don't know, okay? We're just left to guess here. But, like, if you kind of think about it, friends, the kind of things, they kind of point out to a lot of these things being true. And I've got the third point here. Technically, pDAI is backed by the bid of PulseChain core coins. Okay, so that's technically. So when they say, oh, pDAI is $1, no, it's $1. Why? Because it's backed by a vault, which is backed by the core coins, which is backed by the bid. It's a self-referential system, okay, technically. But they might be backed by the Ethereum sacrifice treasury. So in an essence, Richard is head of a central bank, and he has like a gold money supply, but it's not gold in the vault. It's Ethereum in there. And that can like back these currency units in a nutshell. So you and I, though, it's a risk. You don't know how much can be redeemed, which is like, you know, the pDAI and all that stuff. So we are assuming Richard Hart has control of this issue and he can like account for a mass exodus. So that's why when you see people going, oh, there's a grand plan. Yeah, there is a grand plan. There is. Is the grand plan, though, gonna get you 100x richer overnight? I don't think so. I think it's more gonna be a way to wash stuff, liquidity providing, bonding stuff over time. That might be it over time where, look, if everyone thinks these things are just worth $1, and he owns a lot of it because remember, he would have 11 billion pDAI. He would, so in this, these are real numbers. He would have 11 billion pDAI. He doesn't have 11 billion USDT. Okay, he does not have that. If he did have that, different story. You see, so that's something. Maybe he's got a game mechanic to like bond the liquidity and the, you never know. Like there's all these symbiotic things working. It's almost like when you run a city and you're like, hey, we have to pay for security for the mayor. So what do? Okay, there's parking fines. You know, you charge people a bit of taxes here. You pay people. Okay, there's a hot dog stand over there. A guy called the Angry Wiener, and instead of $2 hot dogs, you put a tax, $2.20, and you collect a 20-cent tax, and all of that just is like going to fund the security of everything. You see what I mean? So it could be that's where all of this is all leading towards. So in conclusion, right? It really comes down to that same thing. Yeah, bullish, definitely bullish. I don't know how high the price can go. It's linked to Pulse. As I showed you, like if Pulse goes up, this goes up. The same mechanism that drags Ethereum up when Bitcoin goes up. Do you want to be right or do you want to make money? This is the perfect case of that. You don't have all the answers. It's up to guessing. Do you want to be right or do you want to make money? I think it's a fascinating tale. It's really unique, the ecosystem in all these. But I hope I just shared for you some light on this, on the different perspective. Because I think everybody in the ecosystem, everyone in the community, they're being at each other's throats. Like the pDAI, can I get to $1? Like does it make sense now? Like, why are they arguing so much whether it can get to $1? Yeah, it can get to $1 in your own little self-referential system. Okay, can it be infinite liquidity $1 for USDC and USDT and eDAI redeemables? No, it can't. No, it can't do that. Okay, but it can be $1 here. But here's the thing, man. Richard's smart. Maybe he knows, if this thing stays permanently backed, even though, yeah, technically it can't be redeemed for all of those, but also technically this thing's always going to be $1. You physically, mathematically, you cannot send the pDAI thing. You can't send it below $1. You literally can't, no matter what you do. You don't have access to the tokens. You don't have access to the collateral will never go below that. So that's probably why he's got some game theory where he's like, I wonder if over time, because they're worth $1, people change between them over time. It's almost like clipping the coins. Maybe it's another way of thinking about it. Like, you know, the Roman coin clipping. You're mixing $1 here, we're mixing $1 there. That's why I feel. Look, I'm just going to tell you right now. Just be careful in the next bear market, man. Because you don't know how these things are. You don't know. You don't know. Like, man, HEX from Ethereum went 99.61% down. So just showing you, like, yeah, I don't want to wish any doom on anything, but just we get long, we get strong now, but no one's immune from such a big price drop. And if core coins are backing these things, obviously I don't have all the answers. Okay, just one man, one squirrel, one happy and alive squirrel, mind you, trying to make our way. Let me know what you think of that. I'm long and I'm strong, pDAI. It's definitely strong as hell for a reason. But now hopefully you get that case. The case is still developing, right? But a lot of it's been solved right now, but we've got a lot more to go. Make sure you like, subscribe, belly button, all. Catch you in the next one.